All right. We got a idea here for was it eternal flame, cemeteries or graves or memorial gardens. There we go. This one is basically discussing grave plots for the cemetery. The other name for it could also be Quantum Memorial Garden or the QMG cemetery grave plots. This ambitious concept fundamentally redefines the act of remembrance and moves the memorial from a place of mourning to a highly personalized continuum of remembrance. We are moving grave plots from static markers into interactive, dynamic, and technologically immersive monuments. The levitating lanterns, the aesthetic or symbolism, also using a magnetic lock for these. The hovering lantern creates a serene, permanent, and visually striking symbol of the spirit's ascent and continued presence using cutting edge physics such as quantum locking and magnetic levitation to suspend them in midair over a specialized platform. Refinement. Focus on superconducting levitation if quantum locking is the goal, or electromagnetic suspension or EMS for reliability. The platform housing uh, the platform housing the magnetics could also incorporate solar cells to power the internal LEDs and the necessary electromagnets, making the monument energy independent and truly self-sustaining. Very good idea. Solar cells. Security. Yeah, this is a big one too. The system needs integrated anti-theft measures or GPS tracking and an alarm for the expensive levitation components and the unique spherical lantern. Yeah, we don't want people just grabbing these lanterns and being able to steal them. So that's important. The particle hologram, the visual legacy, or the hollow structure, using a dedicated structure to contain a high quality hologram ensures the visual tribute is clear, protected, and elegant beyond moving beyond simple etched stone. Holograms should be contained inside of a pyramid, obelisk, cube, or sphere structure that is made of transparent materials. For example, hollow glass. This is one of my own ideas, another side idea. Hollow glass, specifically designed to help project clear holographic images inside of a transparent container. Refinement, the dynamic content. Refinement of dynamic content. Sorry. Refinement of dynamic content. The hollow structure shouldn't just display a static image. The content should be dynamic and controllable via an app. That's interesting. I can skip past that part. All right. Yeah, because I know my main points that I put in here, and then there was a couple extra things added like this. So yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's good though. So it shouldn't display a static image. Content should be dynamic and controllable via an app, controllable from some sort of mechanism or panel. Personalized tributes, display rotating family photos, favorite quotes, or even a projected 3D rendering of the person's signature. Ambient light, the hollow glass structure itself could subtly shift colors to match the time of day or commemorative date. Interactive AI postmortem simulations, the emotional connection. VR or CGI simulations are designed to emulate the physical and psychological likeness of a given individual. The simulation creates a visual depiction of the deceased that loved ones can verbally and possibly physically interact with. This allows them to simulate speaking with the person they want to remember and spend time with even after they have died and passed on. It offers a way to ease the grief of loved ones by simulating communication and presence, addressing the core human desire for closure and continued connection. However, this profound feature is the most challenging aspect since it must be handled with extreme care due to the potential for dependency and ethical distress. Core ethical principles and guardrails, the content and closure protocol. For pre-mortem consent, the AI simulation must only be built from data, such as voice recordings, texts, or photos, collected with the deceased individual's explicit written permission while they were alive. The simulated growth, the AI should be programmed to reflect in the individual's personality, but be given clear limits. It should not evolve or acquire new memories post-mortem. This one, this one's different. So I think you could actually have certain individuals with certain accounts plug it in. And so basically, if the general public is basically viewing this, then it basically saves the date of the person. Anybody who's not using an account, anybody who's, say, just like a guest user comes in, that person's personality and likeness is basically, it leaves off where it was all from all the collected data when they died. So we're not collecting any other information, no conversations, anything extra. It is simply what is presented. Will always just to the general public without an account card, that caveat out of the way, that information will stay the same essentially. However, if you do have a specific account, the AI can evolve in certain ways, specifically in certain ways with each individual account. Like say, for example, if it's discussing things with the mother, but basically the AI simulation will take the information it had when they died, so the base information, and then the evolution will essentially take all the information and conversations that they have with this person, and they will save that data. And so when that person visits them, they can pick up the conversation, and the AI will remember it and build new memories together. And say if it's like the brother, for example, that personality shift will also change. And then so you could also have the brothers' interactions be saved. You could have the friends' interactions be saved. You could have the father's interactions be saved. And then that AI model will evolve in different ways according to which person talks to it. And so we'll still be able to form new memories and still be able to have conversations and be able to remember new conversations that are made. And then we can also have a third version of the AI that is essentially an amalgamation of everybody who has talked to it, which I think would essentially be the most accurate form of how that person's going to evolve. I mean, granted, it's not perfect because obviously now you're in a grave plot and you only have people coming to visit you. You're not interacting with the world as you normally would. So it's not perfect, but at least it's gaining information from other people. And like we would have, I don't know, we'd have to have certain ways to ensure that information that one person shares with the AI will not be shared with another person that they don't want shared, or I don't know. We'd have to maybe not explicitly share information between users that visit the grave plot, but have the AI itself take the information and maybe just use it in other ways, where it doesn't reveal the source of the information. Yeah, that could be tricky because like even if you don't say the name of the person who revealed the information, essentially you still have the, like say for example you have a family member who passes away and they only have 2 remaining people that would ever go visit that grave. If somebody says something to the grave plot or to the AI, and then that AI says that thing to the other person, that other person is going to know who the source was of that information because obviously nobody else is visiting the grave. I mean, it's kind of sad that not many people are visiting, but I mean, it's a situation that's very real and more common than you think. So it's something we need to take into account for sure. Oh, that was a whole idea that I'm probably going to have to insert here. All right, we're just going to continue and we'll come back to that. I'll go ahead and edit that on my own. All right, so where did we leave off? Okay, so basically it should not evolve or acquire new memories post-mortem. This is the part I disagreed with, and so we'll edit that. We'll come back to that. I'll do that on my own. It must state clearly that it is a simulation and a memorial tool, not the actual person. True. Therapeutic use. The simulation should be marketed as a digital archive for closure and made available only through a controlled interface. For example, a a secured VR terminal within the monument or a therapeutic center, possibly with a professional therapeutic use disclaimer, or possibly with a professional therapeutic use disclaimer. All right, so there's that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and touch that up real quick, but you have the gist of it, so enjoy that, and I will see y'all later.